Hello, everybody. Joe Bagnones here. Welcome back for another episode of MUV LUV Total Eclipse. Only a couple hours after I recorded the last episode. And yeah, OBS did murder some of my footage at the end before I decided to do those cuts. I say those cuts because there was another segment I tried to record in the middle, which was only like 50 seconds long, where I'm like, let's see if just starting and stopping it fixed it. And it's like, nope, that didn't do it. And in between those times of like restarting my computer and actually like the original recording, only like I'd say like 5-7 seconds of like a video just like disappeared, went poof. Nothing happened in there. It was just them fucking ragging on Yuya some more. No biggie. Nothing was lost. Nothing important. You didn't miss anything. But that was weird. OBS has been working fine now, and it looks like it's working good now, at least. I'll just have to be mindful if it starts to do that again, that I'll need to stop and start again. But yeah, let's get in there. Getting saucy. Also, unfortunately for you guys, I went out and bought some beer. So, one of those episodes where you're gonna have to deal with not drunk me, because I mean these are pretty tall like cans of beer. How big is this can? It's like one of those tall cans of soda you can get at the fucking gas station, you know? Yeah, it's a 16-ounce can, a 1-pint can. So, for those, I got Shuckin' Pumpkin from what is it? Big Oyster Brewery. It's the fall pumpkin spice ale. Normally I just stick with Sam Adams for that kind of thing, but it's a little too early in the year for them to have their fall flavor out, so you know, figured this would be a good stopgap. Okay, that's fine. This one's a little warm. I have the other 3 behind me sitting on ice to chill down a bit. I left them in the fridge for like an hour and a half. Still, they're like below room temperature, but you know, they're not like good cold beer level yet. So hopefully those ones will be ready to go by the time I get around to them.
あれとて無理は重々承知の上だろう。だからこそわざわざご足労願ったわけさ。対外交渉とその調整でお前さんに勝る者はこの国には存在しないからな。
お褒めに預かり光栄ですが、それは中佐の買いかぶりです。私など外務省のお歴々に比べればとても。
正規ルートの外交であれば確かにな。だが裏の仕事となれば情報省、特にお前さんの部署の独壇場だろうよ。
Never showed up again.
確かに。
ですが、
先進機密技術の塊である試作兵器を国外に持ち出すとなると、さすがにおいそれというわけにはいきません。
ああ、その通りだ。市ヶ谷は当然のこと、霞ヶ関、大手町も絶対に許さないだろ
う。でしょうな。
市ヶ谷までは何とか黙らせる自信はあるが、他はどうにもできない。だが、お前さんにはそれを何とかする手がある。そうだな。例の新兵器開発は、お前さんが横浜から持ち込んだ話だったな。しかも、その心臓部はブラックボックスのまま提供されている。おそらく量産化が叶った後も、その状況は変わるまい。横浜のメギツネは、そんなに甘くないだろうよ。だとすればだ。横浜絡みの口実さえあれば、連中を黙らせることができる。そして、お前さんならその橋渡しができる。
やれ。仕方ありませんな。
やってくれるか。
はい。他ならぬ中佐の頼み事を無下にはできませんからね。
Alright, man's got some fucking weight to throw around.
中佐、差し支えなければ。
なんだ。
大の政治嫌いで有名なあなたがそこまでされる覚悟を決めた理由、
someone in a high-level position in the military should be not getting involved in politics.
高村中尉の上申が理由というわけではないでしょう。いかに彼女が我が子同然とはいえ、 あなたは公私混同するような方ではない。
What? Nepotism in my Japanese military structure?
XFJ 計画の成否は重要な分岐路だと俺は考えている。正面装備の選定にとどまらない大問題だ。だから
その心は、
ここで選択を誤れば帝国はますます国粋主義という自家中毒の袋小路に迷い込み、やがて滅びの運命をたどるだろう。
Well, at least this guy has his head screwed on right.
これは驚いた。近衛出身の陸軍高級将校とは思えないお言葉ですな。クワバラクワバラ。
Also, again, as it should be.
好きなように取ればいいさ。だがな、今のままでは民や将軍家だけではなく皇帝陛下にまで厄災が及ぶ。
Also notice like his mouth is open sometimes in the corner where a scar is. I wonder if that's like an intentional choice, like not like a slide grin kind of thing, but kind of like, you know, the scar tissue's pulling the skin tight.
だからこそ国際共同開発の小さな成功を過去の呪縛を断つ最初の人たちにするのさ。結果それは国家100年の経営に大きく影響する。俺はそう信じて動いているんだ。
Alright, I like this guy.
小さな成功とは、また随分と謙虚な物言いですな。かの計画で中佐が手に入れようとなさっているのは、そのような小物ではないでしょう。
何？
さしずめそれが市ヶ谷への手土産というわけですか。なるほど。それなら十分お釣りが来る。
さすがだな。そこまで掴んでいるのか。
I'll just
だ
play
ったら
along,
これ以
pretend I
上
know
の
who
説
that
明は
is.
不要だろう。俺の手札はもうない。
なるほど。中佐のお考えはよくわかりました。今のお話は聞かなかったことにしておきます。ご依頼の件はそれとは別に承りましたので、どうぞご安心を。
また一つ借りができてしまったな。何はともあれよろしく頼む。
お任せください。一つ確認ですが、中佐。横浜を動かすとなると、かの麗しき女狐への供物が相当必要になりますが、その覚悟と準備は終わりでしょうね。
ああ。
What are we gonna trade?
それは結構。では、早速動き始めるとしましょう。ああ、そうそう。こんなタイミングで言うのもなんですが、私も近々中佐にお願いに上がるかもしれない案件がありまして。
Certain matter.
断れないタイミングに言っておきながら白々しい。わかってるさ。借りはきっちり返す。何が望みだ？言ってみろ。
相変わらずせっかちですな。今はまだ可能性の話ですので、いずれまた。
Alright, playing the long game.
なんだもったいぶりよって。まあいい。どうせろくな話じゃないんだろ。
いえいえ、それほど悪い話でも。
I doubt that.
ああ、そうだ。横浜への供物には
Unless this is how they
最適
got
かも
their
しれませんね。
got their fucking railgun. You know, that they used in the HSST incident.
すげえ存在感だな、あの山。
There seems to be a lot of wrecked ships here. Not sure how I feel about that. Yeah.
けど、これがペトロパブロフスク・カムチャツキ基地。極東ソビエト戦線の要衝と謳われる軍港ね。
Yeah. Scenery can only be described as bleak. Muddy seas, the smell of rot and decay brought in by the tides. The whole harbor is rusted over, abandoned warships rotting at the pier. And the cherry on top? The ship's broadcast said it'd be sunny today. But the sky is covered in gray clouds.
けど、こんなんでも、ここはまだ、俺たち人類の領域なんだ。
That's right. The mountain over there wouldn't be towering over us if that wasn't the case. Not sure why, but they made to flatten any terrain they control. Reasons aside, it's a cruel but efficient way of instilling a sense of hopelessness in us, shattering our morale. Because even if we manage to wipe the bastards out, the scenery in our memories is gone for good.
な、気づいてたか？ここには海鳥が一羽もいねえ。
Maybe that's got something to do with the beta too?
だな。
Just fucking laser class picking them off. When confronted with reality head on, one can't help but marvel just how dire the Soviet Union's mankind's situation really is. Reading about it simply doesn't do it justice. Perceiving our desperate situation with all 5 senses really brings it home. Everyone in Argus has lost something to this never-ending war. Italy, Nepal, Sweden, all ground to dust. Japan is the one success story, and the country still lost half its mainland.
祖国奪還の悲願を胸に戦う前線の同志により強力な戦術機を送り届ける。私それは全てに優先する。
I skipped the dialogue.
西側でも当然それは同じだと思っていたが。
Are you done now? Chris' words make a lot of sense now. Thinking back, my retort was just superficial bullshit. Still, that single-mindedness of hers is counterproductive. That's coming from me, the king of bullheadedness. Seems we really do have more in common than I thought. We're even dealing with the same problems. I wonder if the old me would have noticed. Mellowed out quite a bit since coming to Yukon. I'm not planning to force a similar transition on her, mind you, but I've definitely changed for the better. Shit. Why am I even thinking about how to look at other people? Why am I even thinking about how to look after other people when I'm about to see real combat? Surely not because I'm trying to take my mind off things.
ゆうや、どうした？急に黙っちまって。
It's nothing.
ま、無理もねえか。現状の94セカンドで実戦試験ってだけでも不安があるのに、お前は実戦初経験だし、それでこのありさまを見せつけられれば。
Yeah, it's not inspiring, a whole lot of confidence. I'm telling you, it's nothing.
ならいいけどさ。
Still, this view is such a downer, man. Oh, that was a weird fucking pause I put in there. I saw a comma. I don't know why there's a comma there. I mean, it makes sense, but it, like, throws the cadence of the sentence off. I wish they just, I don't know, ship us straight to the front lines. Don't give us the chance to let our minds
お
wander.
前らしい言葉だよ。
Anyway, shouldn't you be busy with our landing preparations? Is it okay for you to waste your time, with me?
俺らの出番はまだだよ。輸送艦の陸揚げが先だからな。
Yeah. There's spare parts, supplies, measuring equipment, all sorts of goodies cramped up in there.
そういうことだな。
Very low energy reply. Oh man, my mouth is fucking... I don't know what that is. Obviously, it's not because of the alcohol. I've had like 3 sips. I know I'm a lightweight, but I'm not that bad. I think it's just late in the day. Very low energy reply. See? I'm not the only one who could use a distraction. Look, I get it. I was looking forward to seeing how those enhanced modules perform too. Seriously, coming on an expedition all the way to Russia without the modules installed makes no sense to me, but we may as well roll with it.
ああ、いや、まあ、別にそれを引きずってるわけじゃないんだけど。
Okay, so what is?
いや、俺も実戦経験ないからさ。
Yeah,
緊張してたんだよ。
normally stick to the rear.
けど、お前がそうやって割り切ってるのに、俺がおじけづいてちゃいけないよな。悪い悪い。
No, pretty normal. Sometimes you just have to man up and make your peace. You screw the pooch here, it's the US military's reputation that'll suffer.
そうだな。
That's not really what's happening here, is it? Vincent's shadowing me around, checking up on me. We're both headed into a live battlefield for the first time, but Vincent somehow finds time to put me first. That's because you need it. You're very, I don't know, needy? I guess you need a lot of, extra eyes on you. Still, we both have roles to play. Let's focus on doing the things only we can, to the best of our abilities. Sorry for being such a pain in the ass, but I promise you, I got this.
なんか面白いもんでも見つかったのかい、お二人さん。
Now we could use a little, extra energy in this conversation.
さすがに甲板は冷えるね。
Hey, VG, and oh joy, Tiny? You cold? Weird. Doesn't seem much colder here than Alaska.
全然違うよ。鈍感だね、ゆうやは。
なんかこう、寒さの種類が違うような。
Yeah, you got the see
刺
through
す
you
よう
said
な
fucking
冷たさってい
the
うか。
knife.
ベータが手当たり次第に真っ平らにしちまうからな。
Oh yeah, nothing to stop fucking wind too, just probably all the way from fucking Germany to here.
そうか。ユーコン基地より緯度が低いのに、同じくらいの気温ってのがもう。
ユーラシアはどこもこうさ。
これが戦場の空気ってやつだよ、ユウヤ。
あの山の向こうに戦場がある。今この瞬間も、ソビエト軍と極東国連軍が、ベータとの激しい戦闘を繰り広げてるんだ。
Oh boy, how fun. We're in the thick of it, almost.
けど、山のこっちはレーザー級の心配がないから、戦場の空気っつっても穏やかなもんだけどな。
Probably for the best that way. Yeah, that makes sense. Boss has told us there's no reason to worry about laser radiation hitting, Kamchatsky base from the continent. The eastern coast of the Kamchatka... Ooh. Let's try these Russian words again. Kamchatka? How do I do T into Ka? Kamchatka. Okay. It's like Kamcha and then the cha. Kamchatka... Not cha-cha. Kamchatka. The peninsula is protected by the Sea of... Hey Google? You mind doing me a solid here? Oh no, just take your time whenever you wanna load up. How do I say this? Is my keyboard gonna come up? There we go. Alright, I spelled it right. Pronunciation. Not gonna give me anything? Nope, there we go. Okay.
Okhotsk.
Okhotsk? Okay. Sea of Okhotsk and the two mountain belts that run north to south across the peninsula. We're in the thick of it, just barely. The difference between this place and the other side of that mountain is as stark as the difference between heaven and hell.
とはいえ、そもそも、エベンスク5からレーザー級が出てきたって話は聞かないんだけどな。
でも、そんなの何の安心材料にもならないよ。第一理由が分かってないんだからさ。
Yeah, a little weird.
新しいハイブだからっていうのがもっぱらの説だけど、実際はどうなんだろう。
They need to build more pylons before they can, spawn out laser class.
さてな。奴らの考えることなんか、俺たちにはこれっぽっちも理解できねえよ。
まさか、敵襲か？
Well, that is the alarm.
あれだよ。
Good old code 991. Terminators? No. Hey Google, you mind doing me another solid with this? Man, we're learning all sorts of new things today, huh? Sororka. Kovlix? Oh god, I'm going dyslexic. I can feel it. My brain's just stopped working. No, not Sarkovsky. What? No, it's because there's an S at the end. It wouldn't have an S there. Well, that's not very helpful. Did I even spell that right? Yep, I did. Google is just not helping me with that one. Oh, wait. Apparently there's a town spelled like it, but it's in Illinois. Weird. Probably not going to give me a pronunciation because it seems like a made-up word. Yep, cool. We'll just have to sound it out. Z-H, I'm just going to go with Zugh. Zaravlix? Well, let's go with that. Why are they flying like that? Not test pilots. There's no good reason for a normal flight to fly in a regular 3 TSF formation. Maybe they lack personnel or resources to deploy in a flight of 4? They're flying pretty damn low, too. Right next to a mountain range. There's no laser glass around, so shouldn't they take some altitude?
見て。
Oh, I see. It wasn't a single squad.
向こうから帰還してきたのね。
相当手ひどくやられたようだな。
元は中隊かな。
That would mean they were 3 machines down. But that was an actually battalion. They just lost 27 men.
おい、前から5番目。やべえぞ。
Ugh. Oh, crap. That guy didn't bail out.
ええ。近接戦かなんかでフレームが歪んでしまったんでしょうね。
胸部ブロックにタコスケの一撃とか食らったら確実だしね、それ。
I've seen more TSFs crash and burn than I can count, but each different one's the result of an actual combat engagement.
ベータ大戦以前、人類はアメリカを盟主とする
Oh boy.
西側資本主
Time for
義
some
陣
more
営と
dumps.
ソビエト連邦を盟主とする東側共産主義に分かれ、地球を分断して対峙していた。
That is correct.
東西冷戦。大量の戦略核兵器による相互破壊保障により、米ソ首脳は人類滅亡と同義である第三次世界大戦勃発をかろうじて踏みとどまっていた。
Uh-huh. Also weird to see this, Cold War map from the viewpoint of the Pacific. Normally it's centered on Europe.
東西冷戦下、カムチャツカ半島は自然環境保護を名目に、外国人はもちろん、自国民に対しても入域が厳しく制限されていた。だが実際には国家安全保障、ベーリング海を挟んでアメリカ合衆国カナダ、オホーツク海を挟んでは日本と対峙する地政学的重要性がその理由であった。
Uh-huh.
1973年のベータ地球降下、それに続くユーラシア大陸西進から1979年の北進という戦局の推移に伴い、カムチャツカ半島の戦略的意義は一変。ソビエト太平洋艦隊、弾道ミサイル原子力潜水艦隊の旗手であったペトロ・パブロフスク・カムチャスキーは、太平洋方面における西側諸国からの援助物資中継基地の一つとして後退を続けるソ連軍の兵站を支えるという重責を担った。1985年に共産党政府がアラスカ移転を完了した後もその重要度、役割に変化はなく、
I was about to say it's a foothold, but it's more like a fucking fingerhold than
ペトロ・パ
anything.
ブロフスク・カムチャスキー基地はユーラシア最東端の要塞都市アナディリと並び、ブランゲリ島からカムチャツカ半島を結ぶ北東ソビエト最終防衛線を支える重要拠点として稼働し続けている。加えてカムチャツカ半島は国連の重点支援地域に指定されており、南北に長くオホーツク海と並列する山脈を要し、大陸との連結部が狭い陸の孤島とも言うべき絶好の戦略的条件から、将来的に計画されるであろう大陸反攻作戦の強闘歩として期待されているのである。
Cool. Thank you for the lore, narrator man.
本試験の目的は主として94セカンドとアクティブイーグルの実戦における即応性、並びに両機との緊密なコンビネーションにおける問題点の洗い出しであり。
Okay, knew that already.
さすが旦那。前線指揮が長かっただけのことはあるな。内心気引き締めてんだろうが、表には一切出さねえ。部隊長の鏡だね。
Yeah.
あっちも、
I mean,
ある意味
not
いつも
that
と変わる。
you would know.
ハイネマンさんなら分かってくれると思ったんだぜ。絶対に合同運用試験に反対してくれるって。 なのに、あの人は率先して、部隊移動の準備や根回しを始めて、
I have to take your word for it, bud.
そこまでして94セカンドをベータにぶつけたいのかよ
Yes, he does. The old fart must have a laundry list of things he wants to test in actual combat. It'd be crazy to miss a chance like this, even more so when Boning is aiming to develop the Type 94 second as a frontline machine. Hell, from his perspective, it's a good thing the installation of the enhancement modules wasn't forced through. Kinda hedge your bets and all that. Sorry, Vincent, but not many people were gonna say no to our little expedition. I'd have been least of them. Still, he has to understand the significance of carrying out operational tests on the front line. That shows in anger... What? That show of anger was mostly out of concern for me, who's logged 0 seconds in actual combat. But I wasn't against coming here. Rather, I'm glad we did. Can't stand the idea of my lack of real combat experience holding everyone else back. What's worse, the same lack of experience is throwing a wrench in our plans to complete the Type 94 second. Damn it. I've never been so gung-ho about a TSF under development. Maybe it's because I've had to spend so much damn time getting used to this machine. I'm starting to wonder if I'm getting a bit too attached to this project. I developed a case of Stockholm Syndrome. So here I am, shipped off to the front lines for the first time in my life, and grateful for the chance. Wish I could have harnessed that feeling of oneness with my TSF before coming here. That's one hell of a catch-22 I'm facing. Can't make that feeling my own without experiencing live combat for myself. But just leaping to the fray as I am right now would put the Type 94 second directly at risk.
では、評価試験スケジュールに追加された試作兵装について、私から説明する。
おい、いよいよだぜ。
Ooh, you fucking busting out the railgun? Huh? Oh, yeah.
これが、指定99型電磁投射砲だ。
Is it actually a railgun or is it a fucking coil gun? Because there's a difference.
こいつが、史上初の戦闘用レールガン。
I think... What is it? A railgun pulls the projectile and a coil gun pushes? It's like very fucking minutia on the differences, but it's like one of those technicality things.
なお、白縫いおよび1型兵での検証は日本でも十分行われているが、白縫い2型での運用試験は当然のことながら今回が初めてとなる。
Wait a second. Are you kidding me?
運用試験に際しては予期せぬ問題が発生する可能性を考慮し、柔軟な対処を。
Yeah, it might blow up in your face. I understand she wants to take advantage of this opportunity. It's too sudden.
ミッシップ強化モジュール完走後の適合試験については、後日アラスカにて行うことになる。ブリッジ少尉をはじめ各テストパイロットはこの点に留意し。
Well, so long as I get to take the Type 94 second out for a spin in close quarters combat, you can slap a damn portable nuke launcher on it for all I care. Good old Davy Crockett.
解散。
ゆうや、お前これからどうする？
Well...
あのレールガンのこと、高村に抗議しないのかよ。どういうつもりか知らないけど、あんなどでかいもん、94セカンドが持つのはおかしいだろ？
I have no idea what the fuck you mean by hung an albatross around our neck. I know an albatross is a big bird, and I know on certain golf holes it's like... God, what's an albatross? I think it's better than an eagle, but it's like you need to be on like a fucking par 6 in order to get it. Because par, birdie, eagle, albatross, and then I think you can only get a hole in one fucking in between there. Maybe. It's been a while. It's one of those very rare things that normally you won't even ever see in your life. Not the bird itself, but someone scoring an albatross in golf. You're right, but what's the point in complaining? It's never gotten me anywhere in the past. May as well just get it out of the way ASAP so we can go back to the regular program.
あら？それを分かっていても、口を開かずにいられないのが、今までのあ
He
な
needs
ただ
to
った
get his
のね。
energy out and all that.
寂しいね。
Throw a big stink.
グアドループ以来、随分と落ち着いちまってよ。 大人の階段を登るのはめでたいことだとは分かっちゃいるんだが。
Shove it where the sun don't shine ladder to adulthood, my ass.
そういや、整備兵たちの賭けはどうなったんだ？
さてね。なんかもうやむやになりかけてるって話だが。
Huh? What are you guys talking about?
ブリッジ少尉、
Lieutenant?
貴様がテストする新型兵装を見に行かないか。実際にその目で確かめておいた方がいいと思ってな。それに補足的な説明もしておきたい。
Huh. It's unusual for the lieutenant to suggest having a preparatory lecture. That's not quite right. It would be usual for a development chief, but not for a commander about to lead her subordinate into combat. She's doing me a favor. Lieutenant Takamura, the boss, have seen plenty of action on the front lines, but this is my very first battle.
どうした？
Coming to the battlefield must feel like just another day at the office to her. Nothing. Well, if you're sure it's alright, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth.
ああ、そうか。では、貴様たち、どうしたんだ？
Yeah, you want to fucking look at the cool railgun? You guys aren't coming?
いや、俺はいいっすよ、注意。時間がもったいな
No,
い
give
し。
us a little one-on-one time.
そう。新型は優也のおもちゃだしね。自分の期待で手一杯だよ。
Yeah, but what if he eats shit and you need to pick it up?
申し訳ありません、注意。せっかくお誘いいただいたのに。
いや、気にするな。おのおのテストパイロットの責務を果たしてほしい。では行こうか、少尉。
Yeah. Where are they playing at? She's offering the chance to sneak a peek at the first railgun in history, and they don't care? Did it leave their test pilot spirit back in Alaska?
開発主任として厳重抗議します。
I just think they're, trying to play third, fourth, and fifth wheel.
意外だな。貴様は命令であれば黙って従うものだとばかり思っていたんだが。
ドール注意。いかなる自由があろうと、現段階において実践試験を考慮すべきではありません。それはあなたが一番。
ああ、分かっている。だがこれは総司令部の決定なんだ。
Mm-hmm.
日本政府の
Can't
合
say
意
no
も
even if you
得
want
てい
to.
るそうだぞ。
日本政府がまさかそんな。
Huh, that's the funny thing about orders in the military. Sometimes you can't say no.
いいか高村注意。現実的に考えろ。
Even if you think it's a really bad idea.
状況から言って計画中止の可能性はほとんどない。だとすれば俺たちのやるべきことは一つだ。
派遣部隊を無事に帰還させる。
Mm-hmm.
そうだ。一人として失わずにだ。そのために最善を尽くす。
最善を尽くすか。
Did you say something?
あ、いや、なんでもない。
Alright. Anyway, are you sure it's fine to give me the private tour?
十分な資料が渡されているからな。おのおの消化すべきスケジュールがある以上、予定外の視察を無理強いできない。
Okay.
直接確認するべきは運用する英士だという学んだる少尉の言葉は正しい。
If you say so.
どうした？何か気にかかることでも？
Not really. It's, sure it's only my imagination. I swear the guys were acting really weird just now.
様子がおかしい。妙な含み？
I don't know, almost like they were trying to, give us some alone time. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Anyway, it's not that important.
そうか。ならばいいが。
Moving on, Lieutenant. Why wasn't I notified in advance?
事前通達。何のことだ？
Because this is very spur of the moment. About the railgun's field test, of course. And also about it being assigned to the Type 94 second.
ああ、それは、すまなかった。
That's because it was just dropped on her head, too. Huh?
試作兵器の持ち出しに、国内の調整が手間取ったようでな。急遽決定したこの遠征で、なんとか試してみたかったんだが。
I think I get the picture.
すまないな。
You don't need to apologize, Lieutenant. In the first place, it's not that big a deal to me. Secure hangar number 3. Whoa. This thing is amazing!
あれが開発中の次世代戦術機砲。姿勢救急型電磁投射砲だ。
Whoa, the specs don't do it justice. This thing is freaking massive! God damn! This thing is unbelievably intimidating, yet somehow sleek and refined. Now I understand how that TSF pervert Vincent feels.
攻撃力や制圧能力は保証する。
Dudes like
短
big
期間ではある
guns.
が、私も開発に携わったからな。
It's just in our genetic code. You were? When did that happen?
アラスカに来る直前だ。実写試験の第2段階とシミュレーター実証まで進んだところで転属になった。
Whoa. So you've actually fired the railgun yourself? I thought the Japanese were obsessed with close-quarter dogfights. Never would have imagined they were developing the first TSF railgun in human history all along. Not only that, the lieutenant herself was involved?
どうした？そんなに意外か？
No, sorry.
何を詫びる？驚くのも当然だ。私だって、この存在を知った時には、覚醒の感を抱いたものだ。
Huh? Oh, yeah. Dude, you're getting me completely wrong. It's one thing for the lieutenant to have a prior development experience, but for her to be a test pilot? Oh, that is way beyond my expectations. Ah, I get it. I bet she was forcibly transferred to Alaska. Same as me. Just another person caught in the middle of events. The complaints about the higher-ups being out of touch ring so ironic in hindsight. Although, now that I think about it, the lieutenant has never discussed her service history before. Japan is a frontline country, and she formerly belonged to a samurai unit, so I just assumed she spent her entire career fighting at the forefront.
私が関わっていた頃は、冷却系の防御力に問題があったが、この量産試験型では回収されている。その分、重量は 17% 増加したが。
Ooh. I see. The trade-off between defensive capabilities and weight is a complicated issue that any mobile ordnance is fated to confront at some point.
そうだ。結局その難問をブレイクスルーするのは、新素材や新技
Look at
術。
you, fucking talking
それま
shop.
ではバランスの問題に終始してしまう。
That's an apt description of how TSF have evolved through different generations as well. Though the way you phrase it is a little concerning.
気になる。
Because you're completely disregarding mobility in that trade-off. The changes in aerodynamics and its center of gravity are nothing to sneeze at either. You're asking me to carry around a weapon whose specifications are at complete odds with the Type 94 seconds design concept. Even Tiny could see past the contradiction. I'd be shocked if the lieutenant hadn't noticed. What?
なんでもない。気にするな。開発コンセプトとの矛盾は認める。情けない話だが、必死なんだ。それこそ、なりふり構っていられないという、我が国の置かれた状況の証なんだ。
Fair. My impression of the lieutenant has changed lately. I see her these days. She seems closer to her actual age. Has an air of youth about her. An air of vulnerability, even. What triggered this change? Was it her service record? Or because now I know we're fellow test pilots?
緊急時、貴様が邪魔だと判断したら、登記していい。
What?
ただし、その際には、内蔵されている爆破装置を使ってほしい。
Don't want the beta to grab it? What's she saying? All of a sudden... Oh, right. Don't let the Soviets get their grubby paws on it, huh?
今のところは、な。
Okay. Makes more sense than the beta. They don't really know what happens once beta get their fucking mitts on things. Despite all the risk, she still wants to bring the railgun along. But there's one way to justify this decision. Right now, nothing matters more to the Empire than wiping out the beta. Type 94 second and the railgun are both a means to that end. The Empire is willing to accept the contradictions in design as long as victory is achieved in the end. Since time is of the essence, no one would miss the chance to test this prototype on a real battlefield. Frontline countries are expected to stand together, but from my recent experience, I found that's just empty words. It must have been political hell trying to bring an experimental weapon over to the Soviet Union. don't want to say this out loud, but it's possible the lieutenant herself got stuck with the railgun due to her role she played in its development. If so, she has my full sympathies. Being caught in the middle of a political crossfire is one of the things we service pilots dread the most. I think I roughly understand your position, Lieutenant. Don't worry, I have no intention of throwing away the railgun.
いや、優先すべきは装備などではない。可能であれば持ち帰ればいい。あれも所詮人の作り出すもの。
You can
い
just
ずれ
build
電
another
磁投
one.
射砲は各国の標準装備になる。
You can't just build a new pilot. Well, I guess you have a point.
装備や機体は一度作れば量産できる。だが、優秀な兵士はそれができない。
I guess.
だから、今私が失いたくないもの。それは、知らぬ新潟と、
Yep. Don't go getting yourself killed over nothing.
そのメインテストパイロットである貴様なのだ。
Whoa, hold your horses there, cowboy. The mission comes before everything. I thought that was her whole deal. And this particular mission calls for the pilot to prioritize the equipment's safe return. What the hell is happening? Sure, she's let her walls down a bit lately. This is almost like she's torn them down completely.
それを忘れるな。
I will. Keep it in mind. Woman, first I need to figure out what's going on inside your head. I mean, I admit it was a perfectly reasonable argument, but... what's her game? Distracting me so I don't get cold feet right before my first battle?
8分。
8 minutes of death. Huh?
初陣兵士の生存時間の平均だ。
Yeah, I know. You hear all about it during orientation at the academy.
そうか。
So that's what this whole thing is about. She's speaking as a Japanese pilot. I mean, it makes sense, right? Over in Japan, the population has drastically declined. Surface pilots are worth their weight in gold. Switching from development work to the safety of the rear to live testing at the front lines must be the standard. On top of that, the lieutenant has seen actual combat. Witnessing friends and subordinates die several times is part and parcel of that experience. That's a bit of that's a bit of a scare tactic these days, isn't it? I was wondering what was going on. I thought the apostrophe and I saw SK and R. I'm like, what is this, some like French abbreviated word? Until like, my brain clicked and I remembered how to read English. Those numbers include pilots fighting in Europe and Asia with first generation TSFs. Like at the average for the past couple years, things aren't nearly as grim.
確かにそうかもしれない。だが、第三世代機で出撃しても、たった1分で落命する者もいる。
Just takes one lucky shot. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. It isn't about survival time. It's about not buying the farm. It doesn't matter if you die 5 hours or 5 minutes to the operation. It's all over just the same. Yep. As an eclectic group of individuals once said, we only need to get lucky once. You need to be lucky every time. My instructors in the U.S. military put me through the grinder, but I've never set foot on the but I've never set foot on the battlefield. No shame in admitting that. I can run my mouth all I want. At the end of the day, I'm far less prepared than you or the rest of the guys.
ブリッジス。
However, there's one thing I know for sure. This is war. And in war, underestimating your enemy can prove fatal. So let me promise you something. I'll return your beloved Type 94 second with nary a scratch, no matter what. Same goes for the railgun, of course. My goal is to put the finishing touches on the Type 94 second and turn into the best TSF around. My pride as a test pilot is riding on the line. I will stop at nothing to respond to the lieutenant's expectations. And that was always the plan, but now I'm dead set on it. After all those fiery clashes and no-hold-bars arguments, there's one thing I've come to understand, which feels the same way I do. Japan's national objectives, the development of the Type 94 second, and the personal improvement of the test pilots, myself included. The lieutenant cares about all these aspects because they're all related to the successful completion of the XFJ program. Words. That was a big paragraph, and my mouth is like getting foamy. It's probably from the beer.
私はそろそろ戻らなければ。
Sure.
時間を取らせてすまなかった。ではな。
Hey, Lieutenant. Thanks. I'm glad I was able to see the real thing. It's given me a lot to think about. She's younger than me, but carries a tremendous burden on her shoulders. No choice but to grit her teeth and bear with it. I could never hate a woman who thinks the fight is worth it all.
Ah. あら、どうしたの？もうここでの生活に飽きた？
I mean, the aesthetics of this room could use, at least like a fucking plant in the corner or something. All this gray and white. It's terrible.
いや、何もないのはその通りだけど、そんなのは慣れっこだよ。ただなんか、居心地悪いんだよな。
まあ、地元の部隊からしたら、俺たちみたいな存在はいるだけで迷惑だろうからな。
Yeah, you're kinda right.
確かにそうだよな。人も物資も何もかも足んないんだろうし、そこにのこのこやってきて、実践試験とか言ってるわけだしね。
でもだからといって、
It's always like that when other units come
非
over
協
to
力
play.
的なのはどうかしら。情報提供の不足、連絡不徹底、受け入れ体制の不備、対応の粗雑さ、現地部隊の態度。どれも最悪ね。
どうしたんだ？なんかひどい嫌がらせでも受けたのか？
別に。至って平和なものよ。だって、相手にされないんだから。
Don't know if that's better or worse.
ああ、そっか。オタクは確かに心穏やかじゃないよな。ソ連とスウェーデンの歴史的な背景を考えれば、手厳しいのも無理はね。
I mean, the only fucking bad blood I can really think about is during World War II, they sent a lot of volunteers, quote-unquote, sent, quote-unquote, volunteers to help the Finnish in the Winter War. Not sure about the continuation war, because by that point, they were, pretty much in Germany's corner. But other than that, Sweden's pretty much been neutral throughout the entire Cold War until very recently. As in, past couple months recently.
いや、相手にされないのは事実だよ。対応が粗雑とかいうレベルじゃない。道を尋ねたのに鼻で笑われて終わりだぜ。そっちはどうよ。
まあ、今のところは。まあ、後方の開発ってだけで、俺らは相当恵まれてるからな。疎まれても仕方ないさ。
ドゥーマ？ああ、アフリカ連合の。で、
兵士が全員シェルショックだとさ。
シェルショック？は？どういうこと？
They didn't handle live combat that well.
そいつら、揃いも揃って実戦経験がなかったらしいんだよ。で、いきなり地獄絵図見ちまって、即パニックだってよ。
Well, that's not very good.
たく、何やってんの？いいね、アフリカは平和でさ。その兵士の国って、さぞ人道的なんだろうね。
It's not that peaceful. From what we know of the little we've been there with our boy, Silvio Orlandi.
だろうな。何しろ、ご催眠暗示も薬も一切使わなかったらしいってんだから、筋金入りだぜ。
Oh, so they have no countermeasures if they fucking start slipping.
でも結果を見る限り、本当に人道的なら、そのどっちも使うんじゃない？
はは、そりゃそうだ。
ま、そんなことがあったから、ただでさえ邪魔な派遣部隊への風当たりが、ますます厳しくなるんじゃねえかってよ。
納得ね。
はあ、そういうことなら、せめて派遣する順番考えてくれりゃいいのにさ。ドゥーマの奴らを第二次派遣にすりゃよかったんだよ。
Yeah, what can you do? You'll get fucking lumped in the same basket.
まったくだ。いいとばっちりだぜ。
All a bunch of freeloaders.
で？BG あんたさ、 やけに現地情報に詳しいけど、それ誰に聞いたんだ？
You doing a little on-the-ground information gathering? You know, maybe putting the moves on some people?
おいおいよせよ。ニュースソースは明かさないってのがジャーナリズムの鉄則だろ？
ああ、なるほどね。
Yeah.
たく、そういう動きだけは素早いよな。
You know, gentlemen and sleeping and telling and all that.
本当に。この状況でも相変わらずなんて、素直に尊敬
You must
する
already
わ。
know where the medical facility is, you know,
あ
get
な
your
たのよ
nice,
うな人こ
nice
そ、
penicillin.
今の人類にとって最も有益かもしれないわね。
そうそう。俺は国家の壁を取り払って、親善友好に力を入れてるってわけよ。
まあ、人口減少問題を憂いてとか言わないだけマシか。
もう、やめてよ、そういうの。
まあ、何にせよさ。私たちはまだいいけど、ゆうやのやつ大丈夫なのかな？
He's
ドゥーマ
probably
正体
just
の話を
fucking
聞いちゃうとさ。
focused.
あら、
He has blinders on,
気
not
に
even
なる
paying
のね、
attention.
彼のこと。好きなの？
I mean, it's pretty clearly she's got, you know, a little something going on for a guy, you know?
何言ってんだ！私は別に、
うん
その、戦場で足を引っ張られちゃたまんないと思って！
はいはい、わかってるって。お前はイブラヒムの旦那狙いだもんな。知ってる知ってる。慌てなさんな。
何をなんだよ！お前らだって心配なくせに！
まあな。けど、ありゃ大丈夫なんじゃねえかな。
He's fine.
そう？
変に緊張しねえように探りを入れたり声をかけるようにはしてたけど。
Is he, you know, lost in his work?
周囲の状況もよく見えてるし、臆病すぎない程度に慎重にもなってる。まあ、戦場に出たら話はまた別だろうが。
あ、それで一言言おうと思ってたんだ。あんたの気の使い方はあからさますぎるんだよ、BG。もっとさりげなくやんなよ。
You think you're good at obfuscating your motives?
そういうお前さんだって見え見えだぜ。ありゃ優也の方が気使ってる感じだな。
うるさいな。そうかな。
その点、ヴィンセントのやつは、自然つか、全然いつもと変わらず振る舞ってるのはすげえよ。あいつだって、実戦経験ないってのによくやってるぜ。
Just never tell anybody and don't let it show and you're good to go. You'll just blend right in.
あれは鈍感なだけだよ。
あのね、タリさ、こういう時は普段通りにされるのが一番楽なのよ。あなただってそうでしょ？
へえ。じゃあステラはユウヤと話すとき、いつも腕とか肩に触れるんだ。
Ooh, Stella.
あら。
おほほじゃねえ。
You got a thing for strangely white Puerto Ricans?
しかし、なんつうか、愛されてるね、ユウヤも。
Oh, unless you're talking about Yuya. I thought you were talking about Vincent. I'm like, what?
だってさ、見てて微笑ましいからさ。あの不器用でまっすぐすぎるところとか。
そうね。
Yeah, he's a mech protagonist. Leave him alone.
どこか偏っているものなんでしょうけど。だからなおのこと。彼を見守るのは私たちの役目だって思うのよね。
ああ、それについちゃ、みんなそう思ってることだろうよ。
After 4 days of simulator trials, I finally got a handle on the railgun and then some. For a massive piece of hardware, it's incredibly easy to handle. The fact that a weapon still in its prototype phase can be wielded without difficulty speaks volumes about Japanese craftsmanship. Real shame it wasn't made in the USA. Lieutenant Takamura was formerly in charge of its testing, although she was made to quit halfway. I would be caught dead saying this out loud. That alone is enough for me to put my trust in the railgun. A perfectionist like her would discover and remedy all design flaws in the blink of an eye, no matter how trivial. This doesn't mean I've started to ease up on Japan, because I haven't, not in the slightest. I'm just not petty enough to act like the hardware is a piece of junk when it's clearly not. I do have complicated feelings about this. Do I have complicated feelings about this? Sure I do. But I'm a pragmatist. Ooh, I was gonna say pragmatic. But, you know, he's using the adjective of the verb. Verb? Well, I guess it's an adjective, just whether saying someone is pragmatic or is a pragmatist? I guess. Yeah, I guess that's how you say it. Weird. It doesn't roll off the tongue. I'll welcome anything that puts my mind at ease ahead of a field test. What's Misha doing here? Oh, what's this? Somebody drop something? Wait. I'm sure this is Ania's teddy bear. Misha, was it? There's no way this teddy bear is one of a kind. But I haven't heard anything about families living on base. Ah, crap. That's Nia's voice. So this is Misha. What the hell happened? Nia!
だよこいつチビのくせにすっげえ力だよこっちの姉ちゃんとは大違いだな
気向いていつもの金網吊るしの刑にしちまう
Doing a little hazing?
なら
Yeah, that sounds like the Soviet military.
あそこの親父たちいつも飢えてるし待てよ親父どもに食わせるなら
Yeah, if you don't know, the former Soviet and, to an extension, some of Soviet successor state militaries are known for being fucking shitholes to be in. Like, part of this issue comes from a lot of, you know, people in the, like, you know, the Red Army way back in the day, conscripts from prison. That's right, penal conscripts. And there's a saying, if you take a bunch of soldiers and you put them together, they're gonna act like soldiers. Well, same applies to prisoners. If you take a bunch of fucking prisoners out of prison, slap them together and just throw them in uniform, guess what? They're still just gonna act like prisoners. So a lot of that prison culture carried over, and you know, once all things were done and done, a lot of them stuck around because, you know, as shitty as it was, 3 hots and a cot is a lot better than some other stuff you get on the outside. So that culture stuck around for ever and still exists now, and it's not great. Like it's real fucking bad.
あんたも好きだね
Nia! Stop this shit now! You assholes! What do you think you're doing? Nia, it's okay now, huh? Son of a bitch. They're just kids, man! Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that don't mean it'd be easier to kick their ass. Looks like they weigh all of 80 pounds. You just fucking powerbomb these kids, crack their skulls. Hey, are you okay? What did they do to you?
私は大丈夫だ。それより、イニアは。
Like hell you're fine. Artists like Kriska isn't easily brought to the verge of tears. Whatever these little fucks did to her was something big.
とにかく、イニアを。
クリスカ
大丈夫。大丈夫だよ。
Yeah, I get the situation now. Scarlet Twins had a run-in with these bastards. These pieces of shit just tried to lay their hands on Ania. Kriska stepped in and was beaten black and blue for her troubles. What the fuck is going on? These guys are all Soviets. It's one thing to give foreigners like us a hard time. It's another to try to hurt someone on the same side this badly.
Oi, oi.
Like I said, you don't understand Soviet military culture.
女の前だからってカッコつけると後悔するぜ兄ちゃん
Who the hell are you people?
バカかお前俺たちはエースだこのウイングマークが見えねえのかよ
What? No way. Oh, I've heard about this. The Eurasian continent is short on people, so the age of conscription keeps getting lower. Even girls get drafted these days. Jesus Christ, these little bastards are barely teenagers.
おいお前、仲間殴った分はきっちり片をつけっかな。
そういやてめえの顔港で見たっけな。アラスカでのんきにやってる腰抜けの一人か。
悪いね兄ちゃん。ここは安全な後方基地とはちょっと勝手が違うんだよ。
叫んだって MP なんか来やしないよ。
Yeah, because they're fucking in on it.
連れに手出した方きっちりつけさせてもらうぜ。
Surrounding me from all sides. That's a textbook TSF strategy if there were one. Can't afford to take it easy. Not when I'm seriously outnumbered and these assholes are seething with rage. Thinking about them as kids would be misleading. These are pilots with actual combat experience. No pilot worth his salt would rush in without a plan. Attacking a visitor is an open breach of military regulations, but witnesses and all, it doesn't look like they give a damn. Dipshits must know a loophole or two that'll help them get away scot-free. No, they just don't care. I've dealt with bullies doing this kind of shit every day when I was a kid. I'm more familiar with their methods. Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Beer burps. Ugh. It'd be suicidal to face them head on, but I don't see how I could run away with Kriskin and Nia in shock. Best I could do is make an example out of one of them and hope the rest scatter.
貴様ら、何をやっている？
Huh?
この声。
ターシャ。
ってことは。
貴様らにお客さんと遊んでいる暇などないはずだが。
Ooh, hey, bigwigs, come to our rescue. Lieutenant Colonel?
整列！
I ran the nick of time. I hope.
歓迎パーティーはお開きだ。貴様らは直ちに持ち場へ戻り、機体の整備、補給状況の確認だ。急げ！
了解！
What commanding presence. This woman is not your run-of-the-mill officer. The way she carries herself belays her ample track record on the front lines. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel. If it wasn't for you, I...
貴様ら、部をわきまえて行動しろ。
What?
いいな。
What? Know your place? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Is she implying what happened here was our fault? In a sense. Get out of here with that shit. Throw a bunch of kids in the front lines willy-nilly and end up with a pack of feral animals. Anybody would have seen it coming. You want to tell us to know our place? Train your little shits to behave in public first, then maybe you'll have the moral authority to talk. Wait here just 1 second. Those kids weren't playing around. If that Lieutenant Colonel hadn't showed up, we could have been seriously injured. And we don't even get an apology? She's acting like this whole kerfuffle was our fault.
やめておけブリッジズ。問題が大きくなるだけだ。
As long as it makes matters worse for them too, it's a risk I'm willing to take. Much easier to deal with a formal protest than a fucking steel pipe to the head.
ねえ、ターシャ。あんたからも中佐にうまく謝っておいてよ。
余計なことをするなと言われていただろう。
だって
大丈夫だ。中佐はこんなことで本気で怒ったりはしない。お客さんの手前、ああいう言い方をしただけよ。どんなにクズでも客は客だ。
Man, this place fucking sucks.
問題が起きると非難されるのはこっちだから。私からも中佐には言っておくけど、後でちゃんと自分の口で謝るのよ。ほら、もう言って。中佐の命令に。
Oops. Now that's something. Seems these little shits and the Lieutenant Colonel share more than a simple hierarchical relationship. Maybe she's a mother figure of sorts? I sure wouldn't be surprised. If I'm right, nothing I say to the Lieutenant Colonel will make a difference. In fact, we should consider ourselves lucky we got off this lightly. Life on the front lines is harsh and unforgiving. An environment where danger lurks around every corner and death is the order of the day. Such a place tourists like us need to pay their dues before we're owed any respect. From where that officer stands, far from protesting, should be saying, "Thank you, ma'am. May I have some more?" I'm back. Sorry for leaving you two by yourselves. How are your injuries?
私は大丈夫だけど。
心配ない。
You were in shock. Did they do anything, well, you know.
何か
She doesn't know.
何のことだ
She's also a kissless virgin. God damn, fucking everyone on this... I was about to say everyone on this base, but we're not in Yukon anymore. Everyone in your unit pretty much is, besides like fucking VG and Stella, I guess. No, just forget it. That aside, why didn't you fight back?
わからない。
Don't know?
彼らの敵意からイーニアを守らねばと思った瞬間に力が。
Well, I get why you froze up, but you shouldn't have let them have their way with you. It was in real danger, you know?
イーニア、ごめんなさい。
私は大丈夫だよ。
I've been wondering, how did this whole thing get started? Getting beat down goes way beyond a quarrel between fellow soldiers.
お前らがアラスカから来た腰抜けどもは。
クリスカ。
大丈夫よ、イーニア。
おい姉ちゃん、無視してんじゃねえよ。それとも何か俺たちみたいな野蛮な連中と口聞いちゃいけねえってママに言われてんのか？あ？
私は
Yeah, what a bunch of
ソ
little
ビエト
fucking
陸軍
shits.
中央戦略
I hate
開発
kids.
軍団331特殊実験開発中隊のテストパイロットクリスカ・ビアチノワ少尉だ。
中央のエリートさんですか？で、それがどうして？だからなんだって？
私たちは祖国のために戦う同胞。なのにお前たちはどうして敵意を
You're
向
pretty
け
much
るんだ
saying you ain't from around these parts.
同胞？調子に乗ってんじゃねえぞ、党のメス犬が。
Yeah.
自分たちだけさっさと逃げやがったくせに何が同胞だクソが！散々搾取しやがってぶっ殺すぞ貴様！
いざとなったら捨て駒じゃねえか。
I mean, yes.
待ってくれ。
Not to
お
them
前たちだってスト連軍
specifically,
の。
but
違う！お前はロシア軍だ。
何を
oh, let me guess, you guys are Far East conscripts?
ソ連なんて元からねえんだよ。てめえらロシアが押し付けたんだ。
Or Eastern Europe. You know,
何のことだ。
descendants.
とぼけてんじゃねえぞ。お前の部隊はロシア人しか入れねえんだよ。
ロシア人。
Yeah, because I was about to say, you know, they seem a little too, well, at least, you know, girl in the back, and I was about to call him Blondie on the left, but he's got more, I don't know, what do you call that? It's not dirty blonde, it's like a really light brown, definitely more, you know, European complexion and hair than, say, the far eastern province.
アラスカに逃げたのはほとんどロシア人だろ。前線で戦ってるのはグルジアやカザフで育ったそれ以外の人間だ。
Oh, so, you know, Caucasus and Central Asian. So the Soviets who escaped to Alaska are basically all Russian. Yup. And if you want to see how even that breakdown goes, look at the, you know, the general statistics of who serves in the army in Russia and where they're from. You'll notice that weird, around like Moscow and St. Petersburg, there's like nobody in the army because even though they have conscription, it's basically like, yeah, but if you have enough money and you're smart enough, it's super easy to avoid conscription and you're supposed to. What are you doing?
確かに我が国にはロシアをはじめ多くの共和国があった。だがソビエト連邦は あくまでも一つの国家。そしてソビエト軍はそれを守るためにあるはずだ。
Yeah, number one among equals and all that. Sounds to me like those brats were holding a serious grudge against the Russians. Talking about the kind of hatred that takes decades to seep in. Well, they could also be from, you know, quote-unquote born in Kazakhstan, even if they are more Eastern European in descent due to the forced relocation during, you know, early Soviet history, Stalin time and all that. I know very little about Soviet history, but from, I know very little about Soviet history from the period before the government fled to Eurasia. But the one thing I know is that multi-ethnic conflicts are par for the course whenever different ethnic groups live together, even in the free world. Still, the old hatreds must run incredibly deep if they can't work together as a single force against man-eating aliens. Makes you wonder, what are these little shits fighting for?
わからない。対立などと、そんな話は聞いたことがない。だから、敵意を向けられる理由など、見当もつかない。我々後方の実験正体が快く思われていないことは知っている。だから、同じ階級でも先に名乗ることで、例を示したつもりだった。それはなぜなのか、どうしたらいいのかと考えているうちに、目の前が真っ暗になり、全身から力が抜けてしまったのだ。
Kurska fainted in Guadalupe after struggling and failing to endure her fear of the ocean. She was under a similar amount of stress. The pattern is clear. Mental stability breaks down when she's faced with intense pressure. Kurska's built her identity around a life dedicated to fighting for the motherland. She took it for granted that every single Soviet soldier prized the collective above the individual. But her world is turned upside down in a matter of seconds, with the mental strain that implies.
情けないことに、立ち直ることもできず、そうしている間に、イーニアに危害が加えられそうになり。
Good thing I made it in time. Nothing shameful about what happened to you. This isn't the kind of incident you can write up as misguided jealousy or a simple misunderstanding. I can't even wrap my head around what made these kids lash out so hard at their own comrades. Anyway, since that bunch belongs with the Lieutenant Colonel, we should lodge a formal protest through Lieutenant Sandak.
そんなこと。
Look, I don't know if you're gonna listen to me or not, but that must have been traumatizing. It's written all over your face. Right now, you're in no condition to tackle field testing. Just because those little shits risk their lives on the front line doesn't mean they should be allowed to get away with murder. They need to realize they're compromising their own futures. They're the ones who should know their place.
わかった。サンダーク中尉にはどの道報告しなければならない。
Yeah, he seems like a more salt of the earth kind of man who is a little more in tune with what's going on the ground than whatever little sphere you've got yourself wrapped up in. Sounds like a plan. Want me to walk you guys back?
その必要はない。ゆうやも危なかったって言っておくね。
Please don't. That's only going to complicate things. Let's just pretend I wasn't here, okay?
わかった。ゆうやがそう言うなら黙ってる。誰にも言わないよ。
Be careful on your way back, you hear me? Maybe it's over now. Those rat fucks may be lying in wait.
それなら大丈夫。もうちゃんとわかるから。
I don't think you do. You understand? Well, if you say so, just promise me you'll be careful.
行こう、クリスカ。
God damn. Life on the front lines is harsh and unforgiving, all right. No, I don't think it's like that everywhere. I think it's just here.
早期警戒衛星の観測情報に変化が認められた。
But that is where we're going to end it here for today because I don't want to get too far in while I'm drinking. Otherwise, I will just fumble around even more than I have already. And I don't think I've been flubbing it a bunch this episode just because I've been drinking. Because, you know, I'm only like 1.5 cans in. That's like 20 ounces. That's like a big soda bottle of just What percentage is this? Like 7.5? Yeah, it's only 5.5. Fucking piss beer. Like, I'm just feeling mildly buzzed, but I think it's just doubling up with the commentary. And I've already eaten dinner, so I'm like stuffed and like my mouth is like... So yeah, before things go downhill, we're just gonna cut it here. So once again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you all next time for the next episode of MUV LUV Total Eclipse. See you guys all there later. Bye.